An extremist armed militia targeted rallies and protests, amassing members, money, and power in the years leading up to the January 6th riot at our nation's capital.
This could have been the spark that started a new civil war.
And tonight in our new series, State of Hate, I-Team investigator Jackie Calloway talks to a former propagandist for one of the groups accused of leading that attack and reveals his dire warning that the anti-government organization is growing here in Florida and across the country.
The FBI charged members of the armed militia, Oath Keepers, among others, with leading the Capitol riot.
Hey guys, I'm Jason Van Taten of Oath Keepers here.
Jason Van Tatenhove, once the Oath Keepers' chief propagandist, left the militia long before January 6th.
This was a year and a half that I worked for a group.
This former member says the road to the attack on the Capitol was paved with multiple standoffs and skirmishes with law enforcement that went unchecked.
This was a violent insurrection. It was a coup attempt. And these are individuals that have been doing practice runs on a violent insurrection since Bundy Ranch on.
The anti-government group gained notoriety at a Nevada ranch in 2014 during an armed standoff with federal agents. The Oath Keepers backed the owner of the Bundy cattle ranch, who refused to pay government grazing fees. Bundy Ranch was a decisive victory for the Oath Keepers.
They pointed, assault rifles across the way at federal law enforcement agents and then basically got off scot-free.
Georgetown law professor and former federal prosecutor Mary McCord submitted this report to the January 6th committee. It details activities of the Oath Keepers and other extremist groups.
They've been allowed to really sort of grow and proliferate over the years with very little accountability for their extremist rhetoric and their extremist activity.
The report states the Oath Keepers and founder Stuart Rhodes in recent years provided armed security at rallies led by extremist organizations. And it laid out how the militia used social media to round up those with military experience. The report cites this tweet with Rhodes calling on capable patriots to provide security at a 2019 Trump rally in New Mexico. Federal agents arrested Rhodes, several Florida-based Oath Keepers, and more than 700 others connected to the attack on the Capitol. But new data shows the bloodshed and arrests have yet to deter the growth of this group in the Sunshine State and across the country.
Certainly, extremist groups are very active.
A 2021 data leak of the Oath Keepers membership revealed 38,000 names. According to the Anti-Defamation League, more than 2,700 are Floridians. Of those, 600 are elected officials, law enforcement officers, military, or first responders.
As I was exposed to it every day and really helping to craft a lot of the propaganda they're doing and seeing how certain stories were handled, I definitely admit, I started drinking the Kool-Aid and got sucked into it.
Jason joined the Oath Keepers as their national spokesperson after Bundy Ranch.
You have no rights!
This is Jason Van Taten with Oath Keepers Media.
He says part of the job involved covering military-type training involving firearms.
The big focus is on combat.
Jason cut ties in 2016 after hearing fellow members discussing the Holocaust.
Several associates in a public deli talking about how the Holocaust had never happened. I mean, I just couldn't stomach it anymore.
Nancy! Where are you, Nancy?
The battle and bloodshed over the election fueled Jason's road to redemption.
I've been calling out extremists for what they are.
Earlier this year, he warned the January 6th committee that the Oath Keepers remain a threat.
This could have been the spark that started a new civil war.
Professor McCord's report says recent polling suggests alarming numbers of Americans believe that violence against the government may be justified. Now Jason's writing a book about his life with the militia.
It's going over my experience from day one of meeting and getting embedded with Stuart Rhodes.
Professor McCord says more formers, as she calls them, need to come forward.
people who have been formally involved with extremist organizations are so important to help not only dissuade others from getting involved, but also to help community organizations, researchers, and government officials.
Maybe some of the folks on the peripheral that are stepping up to the edge might hear my story and step away. I mean, that's the best I could really hope for.
In our State of Hate series, we've attempted to avoid using the names of specific hate groups, but in this report, it could not be avoided. But Jason Van Tatenhove's former group is by no means the only extremist entity active in Florida. Now, if you're a witness or victim of a hate crime, or you're aware of hate group activities, please contact local law enforcement or report it to the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. With photojournalist Matt McGlashan, I'm I-Team investigator Jackie Calloway taking action for you.